money is the least significant aspect of wealth. You do get to a point in your life, what's important to all of us is our health, our children, and some degree of happiness.
Back with Chris Gardner, author of Pursuit of Happiness. This guy is what America is all about. Here's a guy who hasn't had anybody, you haven't had anybody pull you up by your bootstraps except you, have you? I mean, no man is an island, but you did it.
I had help, though, Glenn.
No, we all do.
Yeah. I had help in that I had people who saw me trying to help myself.
Right.
Right.
That's what I meant.
That's what I mean.
That's what I meant when I called you and I said I saw the movie. Those are the people I want to help. You know what I mean? The government we get involved in just handouts and it's faceless and it's just whatever. I want to help the people who are out there busting their butt who are like, I can do it.
But you know what? It's not just the government. It's the people who feel, hey, somebody owes me. There's a sense of entitlement here, right? One of the most memorable experiences I had with this film, we're shooting one day in downtown San Francisco, my own neighborhood. We hired 250 homeless people, a day's work for a day's pay, to be extras on the set. A couple walks up to me and says, we want to thank you. We're both working. We've both been living on the streets for 6 months. All we needed was another $500 to get a house. And we made that money working on this movie. Now think about that for a second. $70 million gets spent to make a movie. $500 got a family off the street. And that was a family that was working, Glenn. Those are the people that I'm dedicating any and all energy that I can. Those are the people I'm trying to help.
You know, you said, I love a couple of your quotes here. You said, the money thing will come. I know so many people have so much more money than I. They're miserable. It's so much more important to be happy. You know, people have asked me about, how do you make money? How do you make the business? Blah, 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 blah. Money's a byproduct.
Absolutely.
If you're focusing on the money, you ain't going to make money.
You won't.
You know what I mean?
You won't.
It just happens to come along because you're focused.
And you're good, and you do the work, and you pound the anvil every day, and you keep making the baby steps towards something you feel passionate about.
And then you said, the other one, the Calvary ain't coming. You got to do this yourself.
That's right.
There is, and it is in every community, and unfortunately, I am hearing it from way too many political candidates this time. Michelle Obama, however, comes to mind in a speech that she just gave where she said, I'm still paying for my Princeton and Harvard education, and that's just not right. And I thought, I couldn't get into Princeton and Harvard. Okay, you're paying for Princeton and Harvard. Look how great that is. And you could be the first lady. Shouldn't we be holding these experiences up and saying, yeah, you're damn right it's tough, but look what you can accomplish.
Glenn, we could sit here a long time, and if you don't mention pimps, politicians, or preachers, that would be all right with me. Okay? We can talk about anything you want, but hey.
Is there anybody that, I don't want to get into politics if you don't want to get into politics, but is there, with what's going on in the economy, we are seeing some really nasty things happening in the economy, and we've got a system of government.
Could get worse.
Oh, I think it's going to. Are you a betting man?
I could get worse. No, I'm not betting. I'm just stacking up cash.
All right. I'm stacking up gold and putting it in my basement. But you look at what the government, and it's all sides, what they're doing, is they are basically saying, we'll take away the mistakes that you've made. They've done it. They're doing it to banks. They're doing it to individuals. You signed a loan for this house. Now, those people who signed it and were legitimately, screwed by a bank that was unscrupulous or a mortgage lender, those people should go to jail. The mortgage lender should be pay for that. Other than that, do you think people should be let off? Do you think we should forgive people's debts? Do you think we should say, hey, well, you're a bank and you're important and we should save you?
Nobody forgave mine. Nobody forgave mine. Okay? And if you look at, let's talk about this for a second. This housing debacle.
Right.
You got three categories of folks that are really, really getting hurt right now, in my opinion. Number one, the first people that we should not try to help are the people who are buying houses on spec, making inaccurate loan applications and thinking that they were going to flip the house, et cetera, et cetera. You know what?
Exactly right.
You took that risk, eat it.
Bye-bye.
But the other two categories of folks, Glenn, we got to give some serious consideration to. The people who've lost their jobs. Let's look at not just how many jobs we've lost in this country, we've lost a few industries. I was in Detroit recently, and I've got to tell you, I love the city. It will never be the same.
Come on, man.
It will never be the same.
I landed in Detroit about a month ago, and I'm driving into Detroit, and I swear to you, it looks like Baghdad. It is in bad shape.
Traffic. And you know why there's no traffic? Ain't nobody got any place to go. There's no jobs.
But isn't that because of bad government?
You know what?
Texas, they're creating jobs left and right.
Let's say
Texas.
a portion of it might be bad government, but what about the guys who are running the automotive industry who didn't see it coming? Who didn't see, whoa, wait a minute, we got to create a new kind of product.
You had to be blind.
Well, maybe that's what happened. Look at it, Glenn. Somebody should have seen this coming, bruh. And you look at this whole housing issue right now. I was watching not too long ago, the Senate or the House was holding hearings. And they're bringing everybody in, and all the guys are going like this with the fingers, right? And I'm sitting there saying to myself, did anybody see this coming?
You know what?
Did anybody see it coming?
You know what? 4 years ago, probably, on radio, when this no interest or interest only loan, 5-1 arm starts coming out, all these things, and I'm like, what the hell are you even talking about? And I'm getting on the air and I'm saying, are you this stupid? You can't be this stupid. If you're paying interest only, at some point, you're going to have to pay it.
That's right.
I mean, if you are that stupid, maybe you're too stupid to own a house.
Think about that person for a second who made that deal, and all of a sudden, one of two things happened. They lost a job or a catastrophic medical event. Boom. We're going to see the creation, Glenn. I don't want to be right, but I believe we're going to see the creation of a new class of homeless people in our country that I'm calling white-collar homeless. Folks who play by the rules, went to school, then did all the right things, but now suddenly in our economy, there's no jobs in their industry. New York City alone, Wall Street alone, last year lost 150,000 jobs in an industry that's contracting, not expanding.
I don't have a lot of...
Where are those guys going to go to work?
Wall Streeters?
Yeah. Well,
I don't exactly have a lot of compassion for Wall Street.
I'm not saying for you to care.
They created this mess.
I'm not saying you should care, but I am saying there are folks, there are families, and this thing, we don't even know how bad this thing is yet. It's going to be playing out for the next 2 to 3 years.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one. I just don't. You know what? I just think that, again, pull yourself up by the bootstraps. Again, we've got to be compassionate as people. We have to see people. People need to see people. I've never felt compassionate on April 15th. I'm going to a dinner tonight with you.
Yes,
I'm making a donation to your charity tonight. And you know what? I feel good about it.
Well, you should.
April 15th, I never felt compassionate. Never felt, I'm doing something good. I feel screwed. You got to change your heart.
Feel the same way. That's why, you know what, out of all those political candidates who were out there for a second, the one guy who had my attention was Huckabee. When he said he wanted to abolish the IRS, I'm in. But you know what the blessing is, Glenn, for guys like you and I, whether we like it or not, we're in a position to write the check.
Yeah, but you know what? Are you telling me, and maybe it's just because I don't, I've been so blessed, and my career has, 6 years ago, 6 years ago, I had a hard time making rent for $695. Now I'm sitting on top of the world, and I'm just so blessed. It could all go away, and you know what? Doesn't matter, because it ain't about the money. So it could all go away.
That's the key.
Right. So I'm not so arrogant to say that I'll always be the guy who can write the check. I may not be the guy who writes the check. I don't know. I don't care. But I'll find a way to survive.
And not just find a way to survive, but to look in that mirror and feel good about who you are. It's about more than money. Money, man, look, money's going to come, money's going to go.
That's right.
What's in here is non-negotiable. Huh? It's non-negotiable. Ain't no compromises here. So one of the guy that I felt the closest to during this whole filming of this movie was Jaden Smith. You know why? Because either one of us could walk away from it at any second in time and still say, man, it's a nice day.
Yeah.
If Will Smith woke up tomorrow morning and he was Bill Smith and had to go to the post office,